lots to get into on the show. I want to start off with Ligt, though. Ruben Amorim has spoken about Ligt and basically said that he's more concerned about next season than whether he's going to be available in the next 2 weeks. What that suggests is that he is concerned that there might be something bigger at play here. More than a strain, more than a pulled muscle, potentially a cruciate ligament or something like that. He did hobble out without crutches or a stretcher. So, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean good or bad things, but yeah, it could be that De Ligt is not only out for the season, he might be out for the start of next season, which I suppose might be common sense, because I think when you think about end of season May, you think everybody's going to be back for next season, but next season's actually the start of August, which is 3 months away. So it could be that. We'll have to wait and see. I want to get into a few bits. I want to talk about Kobbie Mainoo as well and where he fits into the Man United side. A lot of people concerned about that today. But let me just say, having reacted to the Brentford game earlier and said that as far as I'm concerned, I don't give two shits about losing to Brentford really in the bigger picture if we win the Europa League. And obviously that is a very, very big if. Some people had real problems with that. I think the vast majority don't. I think when the manager sends a clear message that I am going to make changes and I'm going to protect players for more important games, then I got the brief. And I think some other people got the brief as well. But I just wanted to take a little bit of step back because I think people are so sensationalist and so shallow in their thought process that they preach one thing and then don't back it up. Hello everybody, today's clip is supported by Sleeper. Before we dive in, let me tell you a bit more about Sleeper. This app is making serious waves. It was the #1 downloaded sports app in the US during the NFL season, even beating heavyweights such as ESPN and Yahoo. Sleeper isn't just popular, it's because they truly deliver the best fantasy experience. You get deeper customization, more league options, and all the bells and whistles that make managing your fantasy team a blast. But that's not all. Sleeper is growing a fantastic community with several million people using it daily for their sports fix. Sleeper has a broad appeal and is genuinely built for everyone. So, if you're looking to up your fantasy game, make sure to check out Sleeper by clicking the link in the video description. Trust me, you won't regret it. Manchester United, last time we won the Europa League, I've said it a few times, it's not that long ago. It's not even 10 years ago. I'm not even trying to preach to chuff monsters here who were, in nappies. It was less than 10 years ago. Most of you should remember this. The last time we got to a Europa League final, Jose Mourinho did exactly this. We played Celta Vigo in early May, home and away, and sandwiched in between those games, we played Arsenal and Tottenham, and we lost both of them. We went to Highbury, and Jose Mourinho said before the game he was going to rest key players with an eye on the Europa League semi-final. He made 8 changes in total, and the side never really had a threat. The same thing happened against Spurs, and we lost to them as well. We then played Southampton and made 5 changes. And then in the final game of the season against Crystal Palace, a few days before the final, he gave about 5 debuts to youngsters. It was when Josh Harrop scored. So it just surprises me that we have United fans, and we're not talking about the 90s, and we're not talking about the noughties, we're talking about the now. And the now is that Ruben Amorim sent a very clear message that he's going to prioritise the Europa League. And suddenly it's a problem. Yet Jose Mourinho did it and we won and it was absolutely fine. And it's worrying in a way because I think people have such short memories and such high expectations in a time where, look, that Mourinho side was better than the side we've got now. I just think it's just like verbal diarrhea without actually thinking it through. We've actually done this, and it wasn't in the 60s with Matt Busby, and it wasn't in the 90s with Alex Ferguson. It was less than 10 years ago with Jose Mourinho, And he did exactly this. Our final 4 games of the season, he basically just down tools, looked after the team for the final, had a few injuries with Bailly, Zlatan and Luke Shaw, and didn't want to risk anything. And we were shit. So I just think that is something to sit down. Every single Amrim out toxic fan in our fan base at the moment. Not only are you a bunch of flip-flops who don't think things through and are probably, you know, I can't say anything more than that. You're also foolish because Jose Mourinho, who you've probably got pictures of on your wall, did exactly this. Made massive changes to the team in the Premier League from the semi-final to the final. 4 games in a row, huge changes to the team, prioritising the Europa League. I don't remember Jose out. I don't remember negativity about it. I think everybody realised that if we didn't win that Europa League, we weren't going to be in Europe. Same thing again. And Mourinho walked out of a press conference and said, I'm not talking about it. I need to focus on the final. And that's what happened. And Jose Mourinho had a summer and a pre-season where he'd bought the likes of Zlatan, Pogba, etc. So it's incredible, isn't it? You know, this job is harder than it was for Mourinho. It's harder than it was for Moyes. It's harder than it was for Ten Hag. And yet the patience and demands are worse. The patience is less. But look, Ruben Amorim said it himself after the game. He said this after the game: we are not ready to play Premier League competitive and be in the Champions League at the same time. That is where we are at the moment. He said what we have to try and do is be competitive and get through the season, and hopefully then we can prepare to cope with 2 competitions if we are successful in this Europa League. And that's what we're working towards. That is what we're working towards, because when the manager is sending that warning that we're just not capable at the moment of dealing with 2 tournaments, I don't think he's lying. I really don't. I don't think he's lying at all. And I think he exposed a few things after the game that to me are quite concerning. I mean, look, he mentioned about Luke Shaw, and he said Luke Shaw had to come off because of the game on Thursday. So Luke Shaw played 45 minutes and he takes him off because of the game on Thursday. Harry Maguire, and then he admitted bringing Harry Maguire on was a risk. Harry Maguire played most of the game on Thursday, came on in the first half today, played more than double the minutes of Luke Shaw, and is more important to us than Luke Shaw. But Luke Shaw has to go off at half time so that he can play on Thursday. But Harry Maguire plays last Thursday, most of the game, plays most of the game today, and will play on Thursday. But Luke Shaw has to come off after 45 minutes so that we can maybe use him on Thursday. It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking that we're in that position with a player that he can only play half a game so that we can use him on Thursday. And yet Harry Maguire, who's more important, we're risking and bringing him on. Mason Mount, he said about Mason Mount, oh, I loved Mason Mount. I loved the way he broke into the box, and he's such an important player and he's chomping at the bit. He wants to play more minutes, but, we've got to be careful with him. We've got to be careful with him. He's been fit for 2 months. He was on the bench against Leicester in mid-March. We're approaching the middle of May, and we've still got to be careful with him. We've got to hold him back. I've never known a player be fit and on the bench 2 months and still not be able to play more than 55 minutes. If the guy needs the operation, give him the bloody operation, because I'll tell you what, there ain't no way Man United fans or any other bloody club are going to put up with a player that can't play more than an hour. That has to be resolved quickly, because I'll tell you something free about Mason Mount. Good goal today, played quite well for 55 minutes, but if he wants to be in that team, in the position he wants to play, he needs to play regularly, game in, game out, to force his way into the team. You're never going to be a starter for Manchester United if you can only play 55 minutes. There are people that are available like Ahmad, Garnacho, Xerxes when he's back, Bruno, who when they're fit, they can play 90 minutes 2 times a week. So that's something we need to resolve as well. All these things, to me, are a big indicator of why Ruben Amorim is saying we're not equipped to play 2 competitions at the moment. Liverpool are, Arsenal are, Man City are, Chelsea are, Man United aren't. And it's not acceptable. It's not an Amorim, but it's not acceptable. The wages we pay, the squad we've got, we should be able to compete in the Premier League and in the Europa League. And that Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.